Many of you will know what this is, but for those that don't, it's a shrinker stretcher. It's used to bend sheet metal which is needed to form certain shapes on car body panels. It works by pushing or pulling on the material via serrated jaws. Two large forces are needed to achieve this: a compressive force combined with a horizontal force. The compressive force is provided by the operator and leverage, and the horizontal force is achieved by a tapered or wedged block. It's a tool that gets used every day by car restorers and even some keen hobbyists, but it's not a tool that can be easily used on larger panels or on the car itself. It's heavy and needs to be bolted or clamped to something strong. Most of the time this isn't an issue, but there are some occasions where you want a portable version. There are at least two occasions restoring this car that would have been really helpful to have a portable version of this tool. You can buy portable shrinker stretchers, but they can be expensive and they have long handles, which will probably make it hard, if not impossible, to use on the car in a lot of situations. I've come up with two possible solutions to this by using a cheaply purchased hydraulic pump from a Porter Power set, and I'm making a small housing with pistons. I've drawn two options for this tool and I might make both, but for now I'm making the lower option. The material I'm using is aluminium 6082 T6. The 6000 series aluminium is medium strength and machines very nicely. It has around half the strength of mild steel but is only 1/3 the weight. I wanted a lightweight tool being portable, and 6082 is a widely available structural aluminium. You could go more exotic and use 7075, which actually has a slightly higher tensile strength than mild steel and is still 1/3 the weight. This would be the lightest choice before going to titanium, but then things get really expensive. 7075 you will find used on things like aircraft components, racing cars and high-end bicycles. It isn't much more expensive than 6082, it's just less commonly available. Although my business is restoring classic cars, I first trained as a mechanical engineer and spent a lot of years in that profession. This knowledge and equipment I purchased allows me to make my own tools, which can be very useful when needed. I enjoy both professions and I do carry out small engineering jobs for people in between the cars. But my hobby is designing, building and flying experimental aircraft. This is why I know a bit about materials, having had to research them in the past. I've chosen two 14mm diameter pistons for this compressive force, and I think it needs to be explained how I got to this decision. This diagram shows the dimensions of the levers on the standard shrinker stretcher. The dimensions are in millimeters, but it doesn't matter what the units are. All we are working out is mechanical advantage ratio. This is the handle, and this is the secondary lever. If we take 270 and divide that by 20, we get 13.5. This is our first multiplication ratio. Then we take 65 and divide that by 35 to get 1.86. This is our second multiplication ratio. If we times these two ratios together, we get a total mechanical advantage of 25.1. So if I was to apply a force to the lever of 50 kilograms, the force on the jaws would be 25 times that, producing 1.25 tons. Minus the friction and all the pivots and rubbing surfaces, of course, but we can ignore that on this occasion. Now we need to look at the hydraulic pump. There is another lever which is 480 divided by 33 to give an advantage of 14.5. But now we need to work out some piston areas. It works in exactly the same way. All we need to do is divide one piston area by another to work out the mechanical advantage. The pump piston diameter is 12.5 millimeters. Using the formula pi r squared, we get a pump piston area of 123 millimeters squared. If I was to use two 14mm diameter slave pistons, that would equate to an area of 308 millimeters squared. 308 divided by 123 gives an advantage of 2.5. Times that by 14.5 and the total advantage for this configuration is 36.25. That means a 50 kilogram force on the lever will produce 1.8 tons, more than enough to do the job we want. I can now mill the holes for the bores at 14mm diameter. If you use WD-40 as a cutting fluid, it prevents aluminium buildup on the cutting tools, giving a poor surface finish. Give it a try, you'll like it. The next thing I need to know is how many and what size bolts do I need to hold this tool together. You will find bolt tensile strength online according to the grade selected. I'm using 8.8 grade and that has a proof load of 580 megapascals. That converts to 84,000 pounds per square inch. In other words, 1 square inch of this material can support an 84,000 pound load. 84,000 pounds is 38.1 metric tons. If I use 3 M8 bolts, the root diameter of the thread is 6.8. Using pi r squared again, we get a total area of 109 millimeters squared. To convert that to inches squared, you need to divide it twice by 25.4. Then we times that figure by 38.1 tons to give us 6.4 tons. And that gives a nice safety factor of 3.5. If you are wondering why I only put 2 holes in instead of 3, that's because I first calculated the bolt strength on 8 millimeters diameter and forgot to take it at the root diameter of the thread. I've drilled a cross hole that connects the 2 piston bores. While the shaper with homemade hacksaw attachment is cutting the piece, I can make the pistons on the lathe. It takes a minute or two to cut this, but as long as you can do something else, it's not an issue. What it lacks in speed, it makes up for in accuracy. Pistons made and in, and that's the lower half complete. All I need to do now is make the top half. You can't make this part in one piece, well, not easily anyway. I'm ready for a test now, and we will see if my calculations are anywhere near. I'm going straight in with a 28mm fold length. If it does this, it will do anything I want it to. So yes, it will shrink a 28mm width of material, which is great. The most common fold length on cars is 12mm, which of course it does with ease. And here it is finished. I've rounded off the edges and bolted on some stainless steel jaw retaining plates. This is a possible area it could be used. An impact on the wing would stretch the arched lip. You could shrink it back straight with this tool, or straighten it after heat distortion from welding repairs. When I wanted to shrink this repair panel to fit the car and fuel tank, it would have been really useful. I can change which side the hydraulic hose attaches already, but I could easily add more hydraulic ports to make it even more versatile. I think there will be many more occasions where I can use this tool, but only time will tell how much I actually use it. I will report back, and no doubt you will see it being used in future videos. After a quick Google, I couldn't find any other examples of a portable hydraulic shrinker stretcher, but most things have been done before somewhere or another. As always, thanks for the likes, comments and subscribers.